Okay. Last night, first semi of this year's Eurovision Song Contest. Fantastic show. A week lineup. This video is about the second semi, which is going to be tomorrow, and has a much stronger lineup. I'm going to try to get through all the 17 songs real quick. What I think about them and my predictions, such as they are. The show opens with Lithuania. This time. It's a fun song. It's cute, kind of. It's a pretty catchy song. The lyrics are silly, but a lot of people in the audience don't understand English well enough to catch that, so it's nothing special. There's nothing wrong with it. It's fine, but there's nothing particularly memorable about it either. Then Iceland. No, sorry, what am I saying? Ireland, of course, Ireland. And their entry this year is surprisingly good. Sort of a sensitive ballad kind of thing. It's well performed by a pretty young woman, which is never wrong. It's not very memorable, I don't think. It's sort of, most of the time, just nice and slow. But it's very pretty. And it's hoping they're not going to fuck it up with an awful presentation, but it's generally, yeah, it's better than I expect from Ireland recently. Then San Marino. Blah. In this lineup this year that has no really bad songs, this is probably the worst. So relatively speaking. You know, it's fine, it's pretty enough to listen to, but it's just incredibly boring. The song itself is just one big yawn. It may have inspired someone to make a good presentation because, you know, Chain of Lights, it has potential, just the idea, the concept, but no. I just think this song is one giant yawn. It's totally boring. It's San Marino will not be seen again on Saturday. Montenegro might be, though. It's a very beautiful song. It has an incredibly slow start. It's a violin for like almost a minute, I think. I give them huge props for singing in their own language. There's far too little of that, and I really respect that. They usually do, so good for them. It's not very memorable. It has no real hook, but it's very beautiful. Absolutely beautiful song. Malta, the Second Warrior. It's much more boring than Georgia's Warrior. The singer is beautiful to look at, but she doesn't have a very good voice. Overall, a boring entry, I think. I would love to see the Maltese win, because all their heads would explode with joy, but it's not going to happen this year. Norway, which is my country, for those who don't know that. I think that our entry this year is really good and really depressing. Again, last year's entry was really good and kind of depressing, so now we're sending something very depressing. That will not be to our favor, perhaps. People don't want to, you know, it's a fun night, people want to party and have a good time. They don't want to be depressed by tragic stories like this. But the song is beautiful. I think it has a beautiful melody. The singers are very good, especially Deborah. She has a fantastic voice, does a great job. The subject is important. I think it's an important topic it deals with. Yeah, I really like our entry this year. And I'm pretty sure we're going to get through to the final, but we may not do all that well because it's such a downer. Portugal. Singing in Portuguese, as always. Kudos for that. It has a good melody. It's good melodious. Has a nice flow. But it doesn't have much of a hook. So the singer is very passionate. I think that's the most memorable thing about the song. The melody itself is not much to remember, unfortunately. Then the Czech Republic. It's great to see them. It's great that they're in the contest. Just so that's it. She's an okay singer. He is awful. The melody is pretty, has a good flow, but it's boring. There's no real high point, there's no hook. I don't think we'll be seeing them on Saturday either. But then, Israel. Israel is my favorite this year. I love the Israeli entry. Golden Boy, yes. It's a fantastic entry. I've listened to it constantly for like 2 weeks. I like it because it's, on the one hand, it's fun, modern, upbeat, and it kind of tricks you because it starts out quite sad, and then yay, no, it's happy. And even though it's modern and could be sort of a pop song from anywhere, theoretically, they managed to add a little bit, especially to the intro, so you immediately know this is Israel, and I think that is so cool. I think that really, really rocks. Yeah, Israel will definitely be in the final. I love them this year. Then Latvia, they have an unusual entry this year, so it's memorable. At least it stands out. It's kind of weird. It's sort of jolting music, disjointed. It may be too weird for the audience. I think that depends on the presentation. It's definitely interesting, and I like it, but depending on the presentation, it may be too weird. But then again, that may appeal to the younger audiences, and they vote more than the older sections of the audience, so you never know. Azerbaijan, their song has a very silly title, but it's absolutely beautiful. It's just a lovely song in every way. I like it so much. I hope the presentation is just kept simple, so it doesn't distract too much from the song, because the melody is just stunning, and I think it's absolutely beautiful. Iceland. They have a beautiful singer and a beautiful melody, but it's one of those songs that are just everywhere this year. A very pretty ballad that's not very memorable. And I think that by this point, when Iceland goes on stage, that's the 12th of the 17 entries, and I think people may be just starting to get sick of that type of song. So that's a danger for Iceland. But it's very beautiful, and I wouldn't be surprised if they get through, but I wouldn't be surprised if they don't, because people will probably be starting to get a little fed up with those. But Sweden are a shoo-in to get through. They may win the whole thing. It's very catchy. Måns Zelmerlöw is guaranteed to give a wonderful performance, and I think he's going to really, really get the audience going in the Stadthalle, and that usually translates to more votes, because it appeals to the audiences at home to see, the roof lifting in the arena. I have a bit of a hard time with the song because I love his entry from 2007 so much. He should have been in the final with that, and he didn't, and I will just never forgive the Swedes for that. And the lyrics are so weird to the song too, but it's a really, really catchy entry, and it's going to be a great performance, I'm sure. So, no question about Sweden. Switzerland, their song is kind of weird this year. It's sort of disjointed. It's kind of unusual. The melody is sort of, but it's not that memorable. It gets repetitive, I think. Just listening to it like twice in a row, you start to get really annoyed with it. It's fine to listen to it, or okay to listen to it, but it's bland, and it's just too weird. Or maybe not weird, but strange. Yeah, I don't have high hopes for Switzerland. Cyprus, very, very sweet entry this year. A ballad, very charming ballad, really low key, but that's a big part of the charm. The melody is lovely, and it just fits the lyrics so well. I really love Cyprus this year. It's a wonderful song. I think audiences are gonna like it too. Just keep tuning it down, and yeah, very beautiful. Then Slovenia, like my second favorite after Israel. I love the Slovenian entry. It's so catchy. It has a wonderful melody, such a great beat, wonderful lyrics, and the singer's voice is so unusual. It's so memorable for so many reasons, her voice, not least. I love it. A+, Slovenia. Then Poland ends the show. Very pretty song, lovely singer, lovely voice, very expressive voice, lovely melody, sort of builds up to a bit of a powerful thing there, but it's not that memorable, and it's probably one too many of these entries. This is what we've been hearing all night, and on Tuesday too, so I don't know, but I'm sure it's going to be a wonderful show.